Let's take a look here for a moment. I'd like to make this video for YouTube and Facebook Live. I put all these that I do here on Facebook Live on YouTube since I learned how to do that here recently. So if we could speak about this thing called cause. What causes an action? I'm not speaking at all here about reason or explanation or justification or excuse. I'm speaking of cause. What causes an action? In my particular situation, I just turned 41. My second birthday, that is, by the way. My first birthday, I turned 77 or something like that. I don't remember the age of that first one. It's kind of old. 1943, however old that makes it. However, my second birthday just went by. I have 2 birthdays per year. I don't celebrate either one of them. I hide them from Facebook. I don't want all that nonsensical happy birthday, like saying Merry Christmas. But there is such a thing as cause. What causes a person, Edward Warren Jones, for instance, me, this skin bag, to be speaking for 41 years about something that's brand new, something that has never been here before, if you exclude the Garden of Eden, that is. It's still new because it's the creation of today, the intelligence, the truth that is in the now. So what causes this thing to happen? A person who speaks this way for 41 years. Essentially, I guess being left to die as a newborn, my first 6 months on this planet. I was the second born of, I think my mother was 16 when I was born. My father was 25, I guess. And that's it. I was a little bit neglected to the point of death, if you will. And then taken at about 6 months to another place where I was smothered in care, concern, and consideration. So the reason for that, the cause for that, if you will, I used the word reason, my mistake, I apologize, is to show that in my first 6 months of life, I discovered both sides of life on planet Earth. There's the one complete negligent and the other care and concern. And both of them are on this planet. However, they're actually both fake. Actually, the consciousness that is this planet is fake. It is a dream world. It is fiction, as brought forth so flamingly obvious by our current president, who talks about fake news, fake everything. Well, everything is actually fake because we believe things. But I'm getting way off of the the subject here. So I put these videos, after I make them for Facebook, on YouTube, where I have 200 some odd videos on YouTube starting 11 or 12 years ago. However, no one has any kind of thing to hold as to what causes me to do these things. There's nobody introduces me. Nobody says, this is the blah, blah, all those things that they do for people to introduce. And what I do is I bring forth the possibility for a new consciousness to be born, to manifest itself. It's already born, it just needs to manifest itself. Kind of like if you're religious, the baby that was put in the basket and thrown off into the water or what have you. It needs to be taken a hold of and brought in and allowed to manifest. The problem with it is a new consciousness, if it is new, has no memory. You see, there's no memory for it. So if it has no memory, then it has no language, because language is of memory. And a new consciousness or something new has no language because it's new. You see? I wonder. So this whole group of videos here on Facebook Live, and this whole group of videos on YouTube, as I said, they started 11 years ago. On Facebook Live, I just discovered how to do this a couple months ago, or I don't really have any idea about time. So a while back, the only reason I know it was 11 years ago is because I looked on YouTube, and this is 11 years ago, my first video. It said 11 years ago you did this. So, and even that's a lie, because I didn't do it. Other people did it. Donna and Marilyn, Brian, Judith Johnson, Lillian Westwood. There's a lot of people back there. I'm just rambling here because I'm seeing if I can show you what causes a new consciousness to be born. And that thing is the ability to accept something new, something that's never been before. You see, the actual definition is of new is not having been before. No history for it, no memory for it, no. You can't, they can't say, or they do say, new Cheerios, but Cheerios have been here for, oh, I guess we're all right. Got a little message there. I thought we might be no longer broadcasting. So, long story short, the reason, the cause, in this case they both happen to be the same, of me doing this for 41 years is to present the possibility for a new consciousness to manifest. It's already been born. It took a person left to die as a child, who then was beaten half to death by the time he was in the third grade and spent a couple weeks in the hospital with a 50-50 chance of living, and then failing at everything that he did for 36 years after that. And then at the age of 36, dropping dead. Dead. All by himself, by the way. No proof for this. No doctor, lawyer, or even an Indian chief was there to verify what I'm saying. So don't believe it. Don't believe what I just said. So 41 years ago, I dropped dead. I was dead for, who knows, because time stops. Thought stops. Life stops. Memory and thought, everything stops when you're dead. It's just, anyway, dead. And then life, sparked by the one thing that I had done in my first life, my first 36 years, which was tell the truth, speak the truth, which is also what I've been doing for 41 years. And the cause of my making all of those YouTubes, again, I lied there. I didn't make all those YouTube videos. I was in them, but somebody else made them. The cause of me for 41 years, scratching my nose. No, that's because my nose itches. Doing what I'm doing, which is bringing forth a new consciousness, a new world, a world in which has a void where it lived in the old consciousness. So just as a clarification, the only distinction between this new consciousness and the old consciousness, everything else is the same. It's all the same, except for 1%, one tiny little difference. That tiny little distinction is where violence lived in the old consciousness, there is now a void in the new consciousness. There's nothing in there. From the space or place of nothing, something can be created. And that's what I'm doing for 41 years. That's what causes these actions. Creation. Creating creation using intelligence and then truth as the deliverer or that which delivers. Am I going on too long? 13 minutes and I might be boring you. I better wrap it up here pretty quickly. So the 41-year intent is not even really an intent, it's a creation of mine, is to bring forth a world where there's no violence. A gun cannot be found. A rape cannot happen. Killing, maimings, and murders, arguing, and having to be right. All those things no longer have a life. In the new consciousness, violence is a void, it's gone, no longer there. All right, it's been 14 minutes and 53 seconds. So if you care to discover this manifestation, this creation, and join it, then just realize that you accepted the world of insanity. You accepted the world of lie, steal, cheat. You even tell your children, probably, that there's a Santa Claus and a tooth fairy and a sky fairy and virgins can have babies and snakes can talk and all that nonsense. Anyway, I probably lost a whole bunch of you right there. Wait a minute, there's not a whole bunch of people listening anyway. All right, this might be the craziest video I've ever made. But every minute of it was perfect. See ya. A perfect life to each of you is sent.